I've come up with a new chart for analyzing gameplay. We've had the punish chart, which is very, very old. I think I made the punish chart like in the first year of Ultimate, so it's almost 3 years old, almost, yeah, over at least 3 years old already. All right, so basically, I want to just break down the point of this chart. I'm calling it the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Clash Chart, SSBU Clash Chart. And basically, the idea or the design idea behind this chart to document or catalog unreactable situations that happen in a game when you and your opponent jump at each other or dash at each other and just decide to do something. Because although there are a lot of things that can be reacted to offline, when you are truly in neutral, this is going to be one of those. This is definitely a chart made specifically for neutral. But when you're in neutral and you are I guess true neutral and no one has upper hand of any kind, whether stage control percent or anything at all, a lot of the times you'll just lunge at your opponent or your opponent will just lunge at you, or as you get to that point of no return, you'll both just do something. And the point of this chart is to try and document that as best we can, so we can see when you're playing rock, paper, scissors against your opponent, although we have tons of different options that we could be possibly going for, how often are you accurately going for the right thing? Or how often are you consistently going for the right thing and being rewarded for your guess, essentially? It's an educated guess, of course, based on previous interactions, if you know the player, if you know the character, the matchup, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's not clear, it's not truly RNG as to what you're going for. But even on your educated guess, how successful are you? Or how often are you successful when you go for whatever you're trying to go for? It's not going to be documenting once you made a mistake how you got out of a situation. So we're not going to be talking about combos or edge guards or tech chase situations or getting at a disadvantage. It's nothing of that sort. It's literally just documenting the neutral exchange, what happened, who won it, who lost it. So really quickly, as far as the chart itself, we have a couple different things on our legend here. So we're gonna also, just for some context as well, we're gonna do this from the perspective of Tilde. If there's a interaction where Tilde wins the exchange, we're gonna put a W on the chart. If he loses the exchange, we're gonna put an L on the chart. For no punish, we put an N. For K, we put a killed. D, we put death. Or for death, we put D, I should say. And then for trades, we put T. So let's just jump into this because it'll make a lot more sense once we get it going. But essentially what I want to do with this chart, I'm going to make this available for everybody as well who wants to use it for yourself. This is just going to be a demo. But every single time there is a genuine clash between the two of them, I want to see what happens and I want to see who came out on top, essentially. But they're jumping straight into it. Also, I want to point out this is game 4 in the set, so they've already had a good amount of time to adjust to each other and try and find out some habits. So there's going to be some context missing as to say, okay, why did he do what he did, or why did he lose in a certain interaction or whatnot. But let's just jump into this. I don't want to do the entire set here. Also, just for respect for the original content, I'm not going to rip the entire set and then say, here you go. So we're just going to do one game here. I want to do the last game. We're going to be speed running it a little bit. Let's just see. So right here we had a special. It was in the air, but was still called a special versus shield. So in this first interaction, as far as their first clash, Tilde shielded. So we'll go to shield, which is right here. And we'll go down to special. So right here, we're going to put a W in this spot right here. We'll keep going. This is just advantage state. Okay, so right here, we had a tilt on shield. So we'll go tilt. So tilt versus shield. It lost this interaction here. Keep going. Another, I would call this a no punish because he shielded. Actually, let's see what happens. You get a back air here. I guess a small punish. So I'll call it a W. It's a small interaction. So we have 2 successful interactions out of shield there, technically. Although he dropped shield and tilted. Okay. Nair. Nair. So empty is basically if the opponent is just walking, empty hopping, dashing, crouching, anything that's not shielding or actually pushing a button. So we have an aerial coming down on empty. So we'll put a W here. We'll keep going. Okay. So aerial versus empty. So we lost one here. So we'll go empty versus aerial. We'll put a loss. Okay. So all this offstage stuff, I was gonna say that's the Jigglypuff special. We don't document that as part of a neutral exchange. That's the outcome of the decision that was made. So right there, I think that was an air dodge. Might have been, or not an air dodge, it was in a jump, something here. Yeah, he tried to jump in. So I'll do empty versus aerial. So he's won another one right here. I'm going to keep going here. Okay. Right there. So that was a jump out of shield versus a tilt. So we have tilt versus empty, which is right here. Put W here. Okay. So we had shield. He dropped shield, so he didn't punish the initial attack on shield, but then he did get a turnaround. Let me see. So right there he shielded and didn't get punished. Shielded there and didn't get punished. So I'll say, or he also didn't punish as well. So shield versus aerial. I'm just gonna put no punish twice. Then he gets a turnaround. I think there was a jump into that interaction there. So he jumped into the aerial. So we'll go empty W. Okay. So right there, aerial on shield. So I have aerial on shield right here, and he lost that. Okay. Another aerial on shield, no punish. Aerial on shield, so we'll go no punish. So that was aerial on an empty. We won that. Okay. Yeah. So he jumped out of shield there, so I hit aerial to empty. So he got hit. Where's the aerial? Oh no, empty here. And he lost to an aerial. Good tech. Shield getting grabbed. Alright. So shield here. Where's grab? Right here. Losing to grab. Okay. We're out. Side B. So this is still disadvantage. This is not neutral by any means, obviously. That's a wild edge guard. Still living too. Okay, let's chat. Right here, I wanted to point out that when BassMage was basically at max range or he saw Tilde retreating, he never ever lunged forward or tried to cross up with an aerial. He always pulled it back to safety. This is important because you'll notice that in the future, any time that BassMage has the opportunity to cross up shield, he absolutely goes for it. Back in neutral. So yeah, empty got hit by special. So jump. So empty. You're special. Right here. Lose into that. Down tilt. So that'll be tilt versus an empty. We won that as well. So we'll put it down here. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that was good too. So empty, I know that was an aerial beating an empty again. So that was right here. Or no, aerial, empty, yes. Because he got a nair, drag down there. Okay. He's feeling himself. Game's still mad close. He's got caught off. He had iframe, so I'm not really going to count that. Like, yeah, he got caught. You know what? Sure, I'll put it in. I think he got hit like a landing back air, something like that. Yeah, he had iframes though, but whatever. We'll go empty, losing to an aerial. Right here. Okay. Okay. Hold on, let me see. So that was the back air. The back air turned into the grab, I think. Unless I'm trolling. I might be trolling. Back air. Yeah, he got the grab off of that. Okay. Extreme danger. Extreme danger. Here's the thing, I don't care what anybody says, just side note, I don't care what anyone says. I've always said that this is a garbage matchup for Falco, bro. Flipping 5 or what, 6 jumps off stage versus your 1 jump? Yeah, okay. Actually the worst. Okay. Got a grab on shield. So where's grab? Where's shield? I keep on trolling myself. Grab. Oh no. True combo. Pranked. Yeah. So yeah, he was at, what was he at? 58? Yeah, he got pranked, bro. Like, Pain. Simply outplayed. He's going to get down air here. That's not really a neutral win. He's doing stuff now. He's just sitting there. I guess he could put it as anti, but he's literally sitting there in rest. It's kind of a unique situation, so I'm not going to count that. Right here, notice how BassMage crosses up shield when he's basically point blank in front of Tilde. He does this multiple times throughout the entire set, and also specifically in this game, and it does save his life. Of course, he's going to try and get behind Tilde so he doesn't get grabbed, but notice at a very close distance, BassMage opts to go for the cross up rather than the poke. Okay, so shielding, no punish against the aerial. Okay. Okay. Aerial on shield, not getting punished. Okay. Aerial on shield again. Actually, kind of not getting punished there too. That shouldn't have happened, but we take those. So this is an important one here. So this is an aerial on shield. Aerial on shield, which is typically not a good thing for Falco ever, and he actually won that situation. I will say that BassMage jumped out of shield. He could have nailed out of shield there, but I think he either went for an air dodge, or not air dodge, an up air. He either went for an up air or he tried to jump away. So kind of is what it is. Still good to point that out. That was a very dangerous situation there. He could have got arrested. I know he's at, maybe not. He wouldn't have got arrested. I'm trolling. If he wasn't at 0, maybe. Because you can die off the top to that for free. Not at 0, though. This is all advantage state right now, too. So, okay. Good down tilt on the roll. So a situation like that, this chart is not for that. That's not a neutral exchange. This is a good read. Caught him panicking. Good down tilt. Keeping the game mad close. I'm going to say so far, if he didn't get rested at 58 second stock, Tilde could have won this game. Playing safe, playing slow. Good down air versus empty. It's just simple damage. So aerial versus empty. Okay. Aerial on shield, not getting punished again, yo. Aerial on shield. That's 3 no punishes. So really quickly right here, I also wanted to add that although Ultimate Frame Data says that Jig's down air is -13 on shield, the way that BassMage did this is a rising down air. There was only 6 frames from the last hit until he actually touches the ground and shields. So the only thing Tilde could have done here is potentially try to buffer a nair out of the last hit and hopefully not drop shield early. If he got a parry, that'd be remarkable, but he had to parry the last hit, otherwise he would have got stuffed out. This is a super hard situation to deal with, but as far as it being -13, that's realistically only if they were to do a landing down air and maybe even a landing fast fall down air. So yes, this could have technically been punished, but it would have only been a nair or maybe a grab, provided that you don't get crossed up. That's actually wild. And then he's going to get, so then he shields with an aerial in reverse. Let's see what happens here. No punish there either. Okay. I was going to say, that cross up down is hard to deal with too. Where was that? So that was an aerial on shield. No punish. So we have a good amount of data already, but we'll talk about it in a second. So Mr. Grab. I don't know if I'll actually put that here. He tried to get he did the aerial on shield and didn't get punished again. So I actually wouldn't call this the grab. I call this the aerial. So he wanted an air drag down into grab. So that would be aerial on shield. Another no punish, bro. Uh-oh. What happened there? I missed something. How did he get up tilt? Whiffing the up tilt. I'll put up tilt on shield there. So we got tilt on shield. Lost interaction as well. It's going to be big too. Always doing it to him. Nail the trick is rapid fire series, bro. 52. 50. Is he dead? He actually, okay, I was going to say, if he died, that would have been the most devastating up tilt in the history of Falco right there, bro. Almost. Another missed grab, unfortunate. Okay. So Nair, so he got the empty hop, or the floor hop again. So this is aerial versus empty. Another good catch. Okay. Shield. Okay. So aerial on shield. So we have aerial on shield. Actually getting the punish here. And this is not an easy grab to get, yo. Jigglypuff's airspeed is actually some crackhead shit. So being able to get that grab, not easy. Roll on stage again. He's looking for it. There it is. He actually got it too. Yeah, he's in his head. I'm tilted for Tilde, bro. Something stupid's about to happen, I'm sure. Okay. So he's jumped out of shield underneath the platform like every single time. And if we take a look for the empties, if you take a look right here, Tilde has won this exchange every time. Every time BassMage has jumped out of shield, Tilde has caught him, which is pretty wild. Okay, just caught on the platform. So I call that empty. He was stuck on a platform, but still empty versus aerial, so he got caught. Couldn't get down. Empty versus aerial right here. Extreme danger. Oh my. Just while I'm watching this back now, I also wanted to point out that anytime that BassMage was at a very close range and he did happen to throw an aerial, he very often would cross up shield, and he didn't actually go for the fair into a fade back poke. This happens twice in succession. Okay, so no punish again. We're going to see some spaghetti on our screen, especially like the last moments of the game. So aerial on shield, missing. Didn't get the cross up he wanted, so that's just unfortunately not going to happen. So that was aerial on shield. So aerial on shield. We'll go no punish again. Oops. No punish. Okay. I think there's just something backwards, something here. So it was right there. So right there, missed. That was a whiffed aerial. So he whiffed, just completely missed. So I'll put, where's that? Whiffed, getting hit by a tilt. So I caught a whiff. Okay. Aerial on shield missing. I was gonna say, I do like that he went for that nair there. It's just unfortunate that that missed, because I would have said at the end of this set, there's a lot of times where he went for back air where he could have naired and might have caught him, but even there he still missed, so maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to go back and look at each of the interaction very, very closely, but I feel like there's a good handful of times, like when he didn't get that cross up on the fair over here and he went for the back air and missed, that could have been a nair and he would have caught him, but that same situation literally just happened. I think that was a nair though, and his nair missed. Here it is the second time. You'll notice that BassMage actually does a full hop fair, and although this move is -5 on shield, just the way that he had done this, if this was a back air coming out from Tilde, there's potential that he may have actually won the game right there. I say this for a couple reasons. Number one, Trixx is one of the lightest characters in the entire game, and number two, BassMage would have had terrible DI had he actually got hit by a back air. Yeah, right there. So actually that was the same situation. So he did adjust and unfortunately didn't work. That time though, he did cross up. So this time, if he'd gone for back air, he actually would have caught him, but it happened so fast, it's very hard to tell. Was that out of shield though? I think it was. Shield, no punish. Yeah. I think, yeah, right here. Okay. That's just tough. Okay. This might be death. Okay. Good no roll from the corner. Extreme danger. He's going to come up there. Yep. Good fair. Doesn't die. Heaviest character in the game. Confirmed. There's no shot. There's no way this way it ends. Okay. Is that it? Yep. Just like that. I'm going to say straight up, no disrespect to BassMage, but there's no shot on earth Tilde should have lost that shit, bro. I will say that the game was decided right when this happens. The game was decided right here, in my opinion, because although he had lots of fight in him and he could have brought it back, and he almost did, this is such a demoralizing thing to have happen. It completely takes the winds out of your sails, because it's like, yo, this combo's supposed to be true, and it is, but this comes out frame 1. So, if you're off by literally 1 frame, a lot of other characters can't get out of this. Like Bat Within, or Bayonetta can get out of this like this with using Bat Within sometimes, but you have to like be beyond frame perfect, or actually like take full advantage of your advantage frames, I guess you could say. So it is possible, if you don't do it absolutely frame perfect, to have a situation like this happen. The fact that this killed at 58 is insane. If he was at a lower percent, the LSI could have been a contributing factor, but in this situation here, there's just no shot. So at the end of this, we're going to come back and we'll talk about the information that we gathered and the things I want to look at with regards to how I feel things went here, how they could have, like, I guess the eyesores that stand out for me. As far as things that could have gone better, right here, this would be the biggest thing as far as in this matchup. I wouldn't even say Tilde could have done better, but this is where if he were to have fumbled the bag anywhere, besides the rest, which is super unfortunate, kind of is what it is. But a lot of aerials on shield were unpunished. I know that. Here's the thing. I know Jigglypuff is incredibly hard to punish out of shield because her air drift is insane. Also, if she happens to do like pound on shield as well, it has a ton of shield stun. Actually, that being said, when she did do pound on shield, like if you look right here, the 2 times that BassMage did pound, he punished those right here. 2 pounds both got punished. One was a grab, which is insane. I think the other one was either a nair or a fair. Maybe they're both grabs. I'm not entirely sure. But pound did get punished out of shield. As far as like nairs or forward airs, I think it's mostly forward airs that got like either crossed up on shield or almost crossed up on shield. Those are things where it's like, okay, so what would I have done here? It's so hard to know. I would say just based on how he was playing, if he's going to jump at me and go for a poke with fair or nair, he was typically doing them rising. The textbook best thing to do in a situation like this would have been to parry it, but let's be honest, you're not going to parry all these for free. And if you start dropping your shield early, or he mixes up the timing and you get hit, then you're going to get sent off stage and you could potentially die incredibly early or just get cheesed. So it's not so easy to say, oh, you just parry this and you're chilling. It's like, no, it's definitely not that simple. With regards to this though, like there are other things that happen that are actually quite good. Even like right here, there's also the opposite as well too. A lot of the times when Tilde did an aerial on BassMage's shield, he didn't get punished. 4 times he landed or I wouldn't say landed on his shield, but 4 times he hit his shield and didn't get punished. 1 time he was actually successful because I think either drop shield or BassMage tries to jump out of shield and got caught. The 1 time he also did get punished. But right here, as far as neutral wins, this is just something you have to ultra hyper focus on to say, okay, if you're going to come up towards my shield, based on where they're taking off from, let's say if they're super close to me, are they going to try and overextend, or are they going to try and cross me up? Or if he's jumping from a distance, are they going to go for that poke and then pull back? So I'd be paying attention to where they're landing or where they're pulling, where they are taking off from on the ground. I'd say this is just like for the notes section here. I'd say pay attention, or let's say try. Try. That'd be the one biggest thing for me with regards to saying, okay, here's the thing. I'm not going to say he would have automatically won because of this, but there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 neutral exchanges. This is not 6 times where they just went for an aerial in the air and nothing happened. This is 6 times where they actually made contact with Tilde and nothing happened as far as a punish. He didn't get hit either, so it's kind of a win since he didn't get hit because he just blocked it. But if this could have turned into back airs out of shield, up airs out of shield, nairs out of shield, whatever, right? Something of that caliber, that's what he could have been potentially getting as far as just a punish to get them off stage, or even could have got kills. Right here, this is also a huge W that I'd be paying attention to. The amount of times that Tilde actually anti-aired or just caught BassMage with an aerial of his own, right? Jumping with an air of his own, jumping with a fair of his own, and just catching him before BassMage threw something out. So this is Tilde's aerials here versus BassMage's shield. Anytime that interaction happened, he won all of them, which is pretty insane. So this, or not against the shield, sorry. This is against BassMage walking, jumping, dashing, falling through a platform, just not hitting a button. Typically here, he didn't throw out very many aerials, if any aerials, where he actually whiffed and got reversed. If he were to, let's say, if BassMage were to dash or walk out of the way or low profile with like a crouch or something, this would have gone into this category here, into the whiffed category. Say, okay, let's say Tilde jumped in with a nair or a fair, and then BassMage jumped out of the way, dashed out of the way or whatever, and then got reversed, and these would have all been like L's. Or something like that. But it actually never happened. So it's good to know that he was not like dashing away or jumping away as far as whiff punishing. That being said, Tilde also really picked his spots really good here. I feel like I said before, he kind of did get finessed dying to that, or he massively got finessed dying to that rest out of the active hop combo, which is super unfortunate because that shit's supposed to work. He must have somehow, maybe the percent was just like, maybe you can't do it against Jigglypuff at 0. Maybe you can't. Maybe against Jigglypuff, it has to be at 5. Either that, or it could have also, he could have gone for a down throw. I feel like going for down throw stuff against floatier characters is typically easier because you can just get there a bit quicker with your down throw into dash forward, rising fair drag down to like a down tilt or another grab or an up tilt or something like that. So that could even just be like a switch up of combo. It's super tempting to go for that. But the fact that BassMage actually went for the rest, if Tilde went for up throw into nothing and there's rest on the top platform, he could have got like another regrab or something. They're at 0, so they're not going to die, but it kind of is what it is. I think right here, there's a couple whiff punishes here. Like even this is a tough thing as far as just doing empty. So having like, this is like I said, doing nothing or dashing, walking, jumping, stuff like that. It's very hard to have this be a category when you do this and something good actually happens. But as far as right here, I guess some of these W's could have also gone to like whiff. Like I would say aerials against whiff here. They would say they're W's here technically. But still, the fact that he won 2 of these exchanges versus just getting caught off guard 4 other times is not terrible. Also, unreactable situations. That's what we're looking at here. The whole point of this chart is to talk about situations where you both just did something, right? Looking at this data, like the only thing that really stands out for me as like a unfortunate situation that happened is that right here, just this. This is like one of the hardest things though. Like I said, it's super hard because this jigs on shield, super save aerials, ridiculous air drift, but these interactions right here, these could have turned into edge guards or kills, and that could have been the game difference, right? At super high levels of play too, you have to be ultra nitpicky. It's not like they're F smashing on shields. Like if you didn't F smash their shield 6 times, you would have won. It's like no shit. But at higher levels of play, it's just the tiniest bit of like very safe spacing or getting accidentally crossed up when you weren't ready for it, and that's just kind of what it is. I think it's viable to learn from this chart 100% because you have to be able to pay attention to why you won or why you lost. Something like this, for example. I'm not saying this is why he lost 100%, but this is a contributing factor, right? Think about how many times BassMage hit his shield and nothing happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interactions, 6 neutral interactions where nothing happened, right? Either tapped his shield very, very lightly with a fair, then drifted away, or he got behind. And here's the thing, Tilde was swinging. He wasn't staying in his shield scared. It's not like he just did nothing like that. It's like he shielded, he was right for shielding, and then didn't get a punish. It's hard. It's not easy at all. But yeah, these are just small things to be like, okay. And I put it as a note. This is a very simple note. Try to pay attention to where Jigs is taking off from the ground when doing rising aerials to try and exploit any pattern in aerial drift as far as crossing up or going for a poke. So what I was showing before is if a Jigglypuff nares, right, roughly, and tries to go for a poke, a better thing too, even if I was to, let's say, if Jigglypuff goes for this nair, it has landing leg, right? So I can't get out of the situation, right? Like I can't do that. I IDJ'd right there, but you can't see it. But if I'm just going like this, there's landing leg on every single landing, right? It's not a lot, but Falco could drop shield if I were to go like this and I fade back. Could drop shield inside B or maybe instant aerial phantasm out of shield and get that punish. If I were to go for fair though, fair, you can't really deal with that because they can throw it up multiple times before touching the ground. So you can't really deal with this as far as out of shield from that distance. If they're going to go like this and then fade back, you could fair out of shield, but there's also, you're risking the potential for them to cross up your shield. You go for fair, you just completely miss. So as far as fair, you have to know, are they going to cross you up or not? I feel like if it's to go like this, but like as far as poke with a nair, I don't know if there's any sort of confirm off of that with Jigglypuff, but if they were to go for a nair and then fade back, it's not going to be safe to do. Also, here's another thing too. If and when a nair or any attack that's not down air, if it hits your shield, the hitbox disappears, or you turn the hitbox off, right? So you go from this, let's say it hits your shield, As soon as it hits your shield, you can drop shield and go for side B if they are going to drift super far back like this, because there's no chance you're going to fair out a shield against that unless you get a parry. So if you don't get the parry, you get the side B. If you do get the parry, then you can get a fair out of shield. I'm trying to think. Back air though, back air is pretty much the same as forward air. Also, it turns her around too, right? Yeah, back air turns her around, so it'll be one back air then one forward air. But the fact is that even landing fair has a decent amount of landing lag, not enough to like drop shield and do something about it because it's so fast. Also, I think you can just like do that into like rising out right away. Yeah, that'd be very, very hard to deal with. Like landing fair, so you could also go like landing fair into side B. So if you try to drop shield, you could potentially get hit by that, and you can get side B into like rest or side B into up air or something. So I wouldn't mess with that too much either. But yeah, when BassMage was crossing up on shield and getting behind, that's one of those same things. If it's like a fair and they are going to land, what's that like? If you go like this, that's gonna have no landing lag. You can actually air dodge before you get to the ground. So crossing up, it has to be parried or it has to be back aired out of shield like immediately, which is not easy. But yeah, that's basically it for the chart. I'm gonna do more and more examples of this in the future and try to refine it a little bit more. I'm gonna say as well, for sure, this is not the perfect example, and this could also be tweaked more. There could be more notes added to it as well. We could watch it and analyze it in a different way as well too. If we want to get much more nitpicky, you could also use the punish chart alongside this as well too. So it's not just like a one piece. It's one piece of the puzzle. I was going to say more so. It's not a one size fits all. You learn this or you do this, and now you're good to go. This is just neutral only as far as, like I said, unreactable situations. But yeah, in the future, definitely going to try some more. I might add some more options or more things to the chart as well, as far as like coming through platforms or not, panic options, maybe even throwing that in as well too, as far as like coming in with something then panicking and actually being successful, as far as like panic spot dodging, rolling, shielding again or something like that, and then not getting punished. But as far as just the face value first interaction, that's what this is for. So I think this is actually pretty good for now. It's, like I said, very preliminary, but we're gonna upgrade it in the future and definitely turn it into a usable tool for whoever wants to use it at hopefully any skill level as well.